Before we dive in, let's set the stage. This Teemo list has been undefeated across multiple Nexus nights and just won 2 Summoner Skirmishes back to back. This deck has been tested, stress tested, tested all over again, sometimes even griefed a little, but it happened to keep winning. Yes, we even have the correct card count this time. So why should you play Teemo? We play Teemo because we genuinely enjoy the character. We think that as a leader, being able to cheat around, paying the cost for a mechanic that already cheats around, paying for a full cost is incredibly strong. The deck has a great spot in the meta. It really only loses to Annie and having a somewhat tough matchup into Kai'Sa. But if you play properly and build towards that matchup, it realistically becomes a 50-50 at worst. This is your Teemo leader or legend. And this is the Chinese one that we pulled in our very first Riftbound box that we opened. And we've kept this ever since as like a nice, fun homage. And we've wanted to make this Teemo deck super playable, but there are better versions of this leader now that we got the Worlds bundle and a couple other options. Let's start off with the Battlefields and Runes. To make it relatively obvious, we're playing 6 and 6, 6 Chaos Runes, 6 Mind Runes. Nothing too complicated there. Everything's pretty balanced. Our first battlefield, your best battlefield, is Bandletree. Always blind first game 1 unless you're in the mirror because it's basically useless for your opponent. Most decks in the format don't hide multiple cards like you do. This also lets Ember Monk get really strong and lets you bluff hard since multiple hidden cards force your opponents to overthink when it's probably just a double Consult the Past. Your going second battlefield is Aspirant's Climb. Going second isn't great for Teemo, but this gives you more time to set up and stabilize. It's something that we tested and came to in the long run, and it happened to be in the Worlds bundle. That extra turn genuinely matters and can sometimes really change the flow of games. Your going first battlefield is Grove of the Godwillow. When you win the dice roll or need to go first, this lets you capitalize while also letting you see more cards. It's always better for this deck to play that way. It forces opponents to actually commit resources, trying to clear you off of this instead of comfortably scaling. Like, it forces the tempo to focus in one place. Okay, so that's the battlefields. Let's get into the units. So, out of the gate, we play 2 Teemo Scout. A lot of people play 1, we play 2. You have another one, but it's away somewhere. Teemo becomes a 4-power hidden card and lets you hold battlefields, which is exactly what the deck wants to do. Playing 2 copies lets you play mind games. A lot of times people think you're only playing 1, so when you hide a card from hand and it's not the one from Champion Zone, then you're tricking them, essentially. Sometimes it can be a Consult the Past, you can bluff it a lot. It's really just playing mind games with your opponent. That's all the deck is. Next, we've got Ravenbloom. We play 3 Ravenbloom, obviously. Really strong 2-drop that synergizes with all of your spells, and it's important to note that in the Kai'Sa matchup, you want to play cards like Stupefy or Stack Deck to buff its might before swinging into a battlefield because it'll probably get Hextech Raid. We play 3 Traveling Merchant, great card. It helps you cycle through your deck. Makes your Mundo stronger. It is a really solid turn 1 unit. We play 2 Tide Turner. Tide Turner lets you play around Fight or Flight on your big guys versus Annie. It lets you move Traveling Merchant when you control a battlefield. Kind of bad to slam as an early 2-drop. You generally don't want to play Teemo from the Champion Zone early, so this is something that's a better option. And of course, we have 3 Ember Monk. Wow, I hate saying the term Heart and Soul of the deck. I always laugh when people put it in their deck profiles, but Ember Monk feels like the heart and soul. Like, you'd think it's Mundo, but Ember Monk is such a tricky and annoying card for most other people that play this game. And it's a great curve card at 4. It doesn't require power. I don't know why. Lets you play around cards that burn like Voidseeker when you control a battlefield because you can flip it and instantly gain more might. Not it, but you can flip other cards to instantly gain more might. It gets super strong when you're on Bandletree because it can hold plus the 2 hidden cards going up to 8. You side up maybe 1 to make room for other cards, but we'll talk about that when we get to the side deck. Next, we play only 1 Thousand-Tailed Watcher. I don't like playing one-ofs, but this card fits as a replacement or additional card to the next card that I'm going to show you. Thousand-Tailed Watcher is a great card for clearing battlefields and stabilizing from behind. It's strong with Ride the Wind. Currently at 1 copy. Again, we would love to play another. We did test another, but the cost just makes it awkward to justify right now, and so we can only fit 1. The next card that goes with it, arguably like with the 7 drops, I'd put them together. It's 2 Mind Splitter. Mind Splitter is really strong versus Kai'Sa, which is the best deck in the format. It lets you rip Time Warp or Acathian Rain from their hand. It's also great in matchups to rip other cards that our opponents are saving for future turns. It basically stops them from playing key combat tools that oppose your other cards. So you want to play this and steal a Defy, or you want to play this and steal a Dead Bloom, or you want to play this and rip something that is imperative to their curve that slows them down, because this deck is all about slowing down the game state and keeping them at your tempo. And last of the units, we have Dr. Mundo. We play 2 of these. Dr. Mundo has a PhD in kicking ass. He is a super strong card that swings matchups like Kaisa and various rogue lists because decks don't have removal. Usually sided out versus purple because they can just rebuke him, but otherwise he gets so big so quickly that you can just move him around like a giant, kingpin, and he's unstoppable. Just a thing to mention, I don't know why Mundo isn't purple. He seems chaotic. He does not seem very mindful like the rune suggests. I don't know why he's blue, but I honestly expected him to be purple. I'm still annoyed that he is blue and not purple. Okay, into the spells. So first we have a card like Stupefy. -1 might and draw 1 on reaction. Really strong with Ember Monk, Teemo, Singularity. It replaces itself. It also gets great value when you play on people's Dreaming Tree because you can target your own units to draw an extra card. If you don't know that, you choose your card with a spell like this, and you can draw 1 from the Stupefy, draw 2 off the Dreaming Trigger, and that's important. A lot of people don't know that for whatever reason. Next, we actually have three copies of Stack Deck. You'd think that the best card in the game would not be played at more than 1. No, I'm just kidding. Stack Deck is the best card in the game, arguably the best purple card that exists outside of like Fight or Flight. Maybe I have a tier list coming for you later, but look at the top 3 cards, pick what you need. Great in showdowns. You can dig for Fight or Flight, Stupefy, Gust, or even Ride the Wind. It's insanely efficient for 1 mana. Speaking of 1 mana, we have Gust. Gust is really strong, going second when your opponent sets up a unit and tries to take the first point. This is your purple Hextech Ray. It even bounces the card back to their hand, so it forces them to basically replay their whole turn previously, if they really want to. Teemo is a huge tempo deck that doesn't want to fall behind, so playing a 2-drop turn 1 and leaving a rune open for Gust is huge tempo swinging, like I said, just to remove their turn and reverse it. You can also bounce your own cards in emergencies. It's very rare that this comes up, but if you need to, you can save something that's less than 3 might, and usually we side this out when going first. We play 2 Ride the Wind. Ride the Wind is like fundamental, similar to every Annie deck. Ride the Wind and Mundo is like fundamental to an Annie deck with Ride the Wind and Vi. It accelerates a unit because it readies it, lets it attack safely, and then readies it enough that you can swing back or pull back out of the battlefield instead of losing it. Usually taken out against green decks though, because it's a Defy bait. Like this card gets defied so many times. Next, we have Fight or Flight, the best hidden card in the deck, arguably. We play 3 of these. Moves enemy units to deny points or saves your own units from dying. You can use this on yourself. You can use this on them. You cannot use this on them at a different battlefield if it's hidden, though. Something that comes up all the time. Your hidden cards remain locked to the hidden zone the zone that they're hidden in. This is also great for just moving your cards around. If you're already ahead and you just need to move Traveling Merchant to trigger the discard 1, draw 1 to make your Mundo bigger, it's often the best option. 1 Guerrilla Warfare. It's very rare that people play their signature spell. Sometimes they don't see the value in it, sometimes they do. Adding 2 cards back from grave is massive when those cards could be Fight or Flight or a Consult the Past. It also lets you hide cards for free, which is pure value. Only 1 copy because it still needs setup, and it's extremely strong, but it's kind of like a win more card. If it comes up, it's useful. If it doesn't, it's okay. We play Sprite Call. 2 Sprite Call. This is a tech from other Teemo players. If you haven't decided to play it, you should. Basically lets you go first while technically going second. You move. It's a 3 mana. It gives you a sprite that's accelerated. You move the token into a battlefield, recycle a rune to hide Teemo from your champion zone, and enforces the interaction. If they don't commit to clearing your Teemo or the sprite, on the sprite death trigger, like the temporary trigger at the beginning phase, you can choose to react and flip your Teemo, therefore holding the battlefield still and still gaining the hold point, which in a sense keeps the pressure. We play 3 Consult the Past. What does Pot of Greed do? What does Pot of Greed do? it draws you 2 cards, okay? Why? Very rarely do you pay the full 4 for this Consult the Past card, but realistically, you're always hiding it, casting it later for 0, and drawing 2 cards for free. It is nuts. It is insane value. Consult the Past is amazing. I love this card. I wish I could have played it in Kaisa. Some people did, but without hiding, I didn't see much of the value. So if Kaisa could pay for the hide cost too, I don't even know if she can or can't. This might be something that I just learned. But if Kaisa could do that, like the deflect thing, that would be crazy. I would have totally played this card. Consult the Past is great for Ravenbloom. It's a fantastic bluff. It tells people that there's a hidden card here without knowing what it is. They're afraid to swing into it. They respect hidden cards more than they should, and this card is one of the best cards for that. Lastly, we have Double Singularity. The third one's on the side. Singularity is really strong into Annie and Kaisa. It blows up Darius. It blows up Kaisa. Early swarms get kind of heated, and Teemo needs to, again, reset the game state, keep the tempo low, so Singularity, deal 6 to up to 2 is perfect for that. Next, let's get into the side. It's a relatively simple side deck. We have 3 Rebuke. Rebuke is, Rebuke lets you remove a big body as an action. It can't be defied. You can also bounce your own Watcher or Mind Splitter if needed. It's strong in the mirror, strong into Yi, it's strong into Ari, it's strong into Yasuo, it's strong into MF. You just need to get rid of a big unit that you normally can't handle. Rebuke will do that for you. I would consider playing 1 in the main going forward, or even in best of 1, I'd consider playing 1 just because you just need to see it. You can always dig through your deck for the right card with Stack Deck and all the draw power this deck has, but Rebuke is such a good card, especially going into the rest of the set 1 meta. Next, we have 2 copies of Smokescreen. What a great, insane card. -4 on something is crack cocaine. 2 plus a power, it's okay. Yeah, you can't hide it, but like on a reaction, it's good versus Kaisa. It stops Darius from bullying Teemo. It can force Kaisa to die to 2 might units. Like, what more could you ask for? Like, this card is great at changing. This card is a great battle trick, in a sense. That's all. Fading Memory. I often, like, it goes in against Aurora decks. It goes in against decks with big bodies as well that, like, you can't really remove. I don't like it. Like, it doesn't come up as often. Sometimes we don't see a lot of Aurora decks anymore. You don't see them. I didn't play this in Houston. So I don't know how valuable this is into the Aurora matchups just based on consistency and how often you see them. So if you don't see them, maybe you can side this for something else, but as of right now, it's the best card in this slot. And you need 2 of them so you can see them. Lastly, of course, it's the last Singularity. Just to bump it up to 3, you side out one of the Ember Monks or you side out a different card just to see it more when you need more removal. Large threats like Yasuo, Yi, or the Mirror, like Yasuo is a 6, Yi is a 6. Some cards are like at that perfect 6 might number that's just worth getting rid of. Okay, so what do we think of Teemo next set? Teemo next set is still really strong. Cards like Hard Bargain give you real counterplay. Switcheroo might even replace Mundo depending on how the lists evolve. Not necessarily replace Mundo, but maybe if they're effective at both, or maybe 1 copy of each. It really depends on like how much grave manipulation we're going to be working with. Black Market Broker generating gold tokens is huge for the hidden mechanic. Being able to stack a gold token to pay for hide costs while keeping mana open strengthens bluffing and control even more. It keeps the tempo on your turn. It just really depends on like what cards get replaced with what, because right now the list is so good that it just seems perfect. Like, it's very hard to consider a different card. I'd maybe consider Invert Timelines. I'd maybe consider, like I said, more Watcher, or, yeah, it's tough. Like, if you're a really good pilot, you can work against the cards they're playing. As long as you see what's in the opponent's hand, you always know what's going on. And so you just have an idea of that. And, like, Hard Bargain gives you really good counterplay, but it would remain as a side deck card. I'd probably not main it. It's just for Time Warp. It's just for things that you can't really predict or get ahead of. And often, again, keeping them on your Teemo tempo. We are really curious to see what other Teemo players are running, though. So if you are playing a similar list, are you cutting things like Ember Monk? Are you playing more or less Singularity? Are you playing greedier? Do you have more control over the game state? Also, I want to hear about your different battlefield choices. I'm always open to trying and testing new things. We do a lot of testing with my friend group and my play group, and we're not necessarily happy all the time. If we find something we're consistent with, we like it and we maintain it, but we do like to test everything. So let me know what you guys play in the comments below. If you think we're completely wrong, if you think that there are better cards and other options and things we're not looking at, please let us know in the comments below. We'd love to test it. I give you guys this Teemo list, and shouts out to my good friend Ali for playing this deck nonstop. He's a troll. He loves Teemo. You guys know Teemo is a troll, and if you haven't seen the vlogs, like, Ali is probably the best Teemo player that I know, and I hope that we can finally get a ticket to go somewhere together, and I can watch him win a championship. Shouts out to everybody else. Shouts out to my sponsors, Cardboard Cravings. Shouts out to Brian. Shouts out to Ali. Shouts out to Scuba. Shouts out to everybody that plays with us and tests with us. Shouts out to everybody that comes to the events with us. We wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here without you guys. So happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and I will see you guys in 2026.